your life. You got this. Go chase it. Live your life. Enlighten you. Let the light shine through. Enlighten you. Just see it through.
I'm Melissa Thrasher.
And I'm Lolita Cummings.
Welcome to Enlighten U, Eastern Michigan University's podcast for students. It's December 2023, and we can't wait to dive into this special episode that can help everyone, beginning today.
You know, Melissa, in the U.S., college students on average graduate with nearly $30,000 in student loans. That is a lot of money. But in Michigan here, it's even worse. It's a whopping $35,000. Now, that sounds horrible, but it's only a part of the story because we haven't even figured in credit card debt and car loans. So when you put it all together, it's as one student recently told me. He said, we're not just in debt, we owe somebody. So that's what we're going to talk about today: credit card debt and financial literacy.
And here to help us understand the challenges and solutions, we will talk to Lamarr Mitchell and Veronica Brandon. Lamarr is completing his MBA here at EMU. He's also a proud member of our marching band and one of just 3 trumpet section leaders. Veronica is a supervisor at the Financial Empowerment Center here in Washtenaw County. Let's welcome them both to the show. So I'd like to welcome you both to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. So Veronica, we're going to start with you. Can you tell us about the Financial Empowerment Center? Who does it serve? I know it caters to some residents in Washtenaw County, but also to EMU students. So what is it about?
We service anyone in Washtenaw County. So if you're a student in Washtenaw County, you're considered in Washtenaw County. If you're an employee and you don't live in Washtenaw County, but you work in Washtenaw County, it is considered that you're a part of Washtenaw County. So it doesn't matter your income, it doesn't matter anything, you can be serviced. And we talk to people in the community about what did they want to see around finances and things like that. And a lot of students felt that they needed financial counseling, coaching, and literacy education. And so we worked with EMU Engage for them to be a co-location because we had a strong student voice. You know, finances is a very scary thing for people. We want it to be sensitive and make people feel comfortable in discussing it. Because again, we're all about financial, but it's catered specifically to people. So we do a couple of things. We do a financial health assessment first, and we pull people's credits, and we look over both of them, and we work with the people on what they would like to see, what their trajectory is.
Which is important. I mean, because they come to you because they want advice for their specific situation, and that's what you provide for them,
yes.
Right? I love that. Lamarr, welcome. So Veronica just talked about everything that they can provide. What's your financial situation like? You're working on your MBA, right?
That is correct.
So that means you've been in school for a long time.
Yes.
And I don't know how much student loan debt that is, but how comfortable are you? What's your financial situation like? Does the services that Veronica described, might they be of use to you?
I believe they would, and I think they would benefit any student or any colleague, or regardless of how old you are. I think talking about your finances is very important from, like I said, whether young to old. But for me specifically, I'd say I'm very blessed to where I am for my finances specifically, because I finished my undergraduate in 3 years, and I can say that I've had the support from my single mother, and for me working not 1 but 2 jobs, that way we had never had to take out student loans. We've been able to pay off every semester in full on the dime. So.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna stop and give you. Because that right there is everything. Most people don't have the ability to do that. I mean, you have a single mother who's helping you to pay off, to pay for your school as you go and to graduate debt free. That's amazing. Good job. Kudos to you and your mom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't want to give my dad no credit either, but he's still in the picture. My mom just helps a lot with the school finances, but my dad does help a lot with other finances as well. So I do want to give him a shout before he gets mad.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I'm gonna say no. Both parents are very fortunate to have both parents in my life, still supporting me financially, physically, mentally, emotionally. I'm very blessed to be where I am today. And then for my finances now, for my graduate program, I'm a graduate assistant through the Engage and the president's office, and I work on specific special projects. And that helps cover my tuition as well. So that's why I'm keeping my finances together and helping me pay for school and continue to get my MBA for free.
I love that. Love that. So, but you, I mean, so your costs for your education are covered. What about other expenses? Because, you know, you may have a car, you may have, you know, you have a nice shirt on there.
Yeah.
You have other expenses. How do you cover those? What do you do?
I work those 2 jobs that I mentioned. The first one being the graduate assistantship through Eastern, and then I also have a job in Washtenaw. I work for Washtenaw Community College as a instructional program coordinator. I help run the social media pages, and I help coordinate events that happen in the LRD, which is the Learning Resources Division.
So wait, because I just want to say, so because now with him talking about his financial situation, I can explain how we would be able to benefit him in his situation.
And can you touch on, are these services free?
They're free, totally. I'm sorry, so I didn't say that. So we work on debt reduction, debt reduction, getting a savings account, a checking account, and increasing your credit. So you have all of those things paid for. You're coming out of college, not in debt and all of that. You have these jobs that you're having. So by you being a college student, we would talk to you about specifically spending 50% of your income on what you need, which it will be different for everybody. This is not a blanket. I mean, so what I'm saying, what you need would be different from what I need, you know, but 50% on your needs, 30% on what you want, and 20% you could be putting back saving now. And we will work with you on a plan to help you be able to navigate that, so that when you do graduate, because you have all of these things already paid, when you come out, you're coming back even more ahead, because we know historically that, especially African Americans, this is really heavy in college, they come out in debt and they're behind. So with you, we could really help you focus on being further ahead by what I just said. So I think that you are in a perfect position, and you would be a really good, actually, I think everybody would be a good candidate to come, but I'm saying, like, we could really help you to improve your outlook, your financial portfolio. So when you come out from college, you're moving strong, you know? So that's what we would do with you.
Perfect.
I love that 50-30-20 plan. 50% of what you need, 30% of what you want, and 20% savings.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
I like that. I do too. Something
that.
for all of us to remember, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So this makes me think about budgeting. And I know a lot of us aren't that great at budgeting, right? And so when we were talking about finding a guest for this show, and I learned about the theme, I'm thinking, wow, Lamarr did a nice TikTok. I love TikTok and I love talking about it. But Lamarr did a TikTok where he was with a friend and they were grocery shopping, and you got a lot of engagement. But just thinking about budgeting, do you have any budgeting tips? Do you abide by a budget? What is your advice to students when it comes to budgeting?
Sure. So actually very similar to what Veronica mentioned. I never had the exact percentages, but I always do have a plan for when my paycheck comes in. How much can I save of this? How much can I spend of this on me, just to do me? And how much of this is going into savings? So I always, like I said, every 2 weeks, how much can I spend? How much can I save? And every month, because I know I have to pay rent, I have to pay for gas, I got oil changes coming up. I have a lot of stuff to pay for. So savings is always a top priority. So how much do I need to put away so I can continue to sleep here at night? How much can I put away so I can continue having a car to go to work? It's the bigger picture things I try to think of first. So I always make sure I have the savings. The next is personal. How much do I have to go out this weekend? Or how much do I have to...
Right, because you want to have fun, right?
Right.
You need to balance it all.
Exactly.
Right. That's a need. You know, like if you had to go, that is a need.
Yes.
So you would put it in the need bracket. You know?
That's right. But I always make sure it does come second, because being a student does come first. So I have to put my education first and saving up for my rent in the apartment. So I make sure I even that off, and then going into personal. And then lastly, I do actually have it set up automatically through Chase Bank, where it takes out a certain amount of money for each paycheck that goes into my savings account automatically.
nice.
And my dad actually taught me that a long time ago. As soon as I opened my account, He was like, you want to put some away in your savings account every single month, so by the time you graduate, you'll have something to come out with.
Yeah,
So
you're paying yourself.
Yeah, you're paying it forward, exactly. So every month I have a small portion that comes out from my checkings into my savings account that slowly just builds and builds and builds. And then it's also good for an emergency fund too, just in case the what if happens, like with life, anything is possible. So I have a little pot to pull from just in case the worst happens.
His father set him up perfectly where his savings automatically come out. So that's wonderful. That is truly, truly, truly great. But so for us, everyone is not like that. As a college student, I mean, your situation is very, very ideal. But there's first generation college students. You have single mothers. Where we would start with them would be, that's what we would do. We would talk to them about, if they said that they wanted to save, we would talk to them about which accounts would be best for them to utilize, which banks, we would look through banks with them, go over them, talk about which bank products would be good, would be most beneficial for what they need. People do a lot of, what do they call it? Hobbies. I'm trying to think of the word because it's not, it's a hobby, but it's not the word.
Hustles?
But yes, that they do. And so talking to them about how to maximize their income that way. Also, this could happen because everybody is not an entrepreneur, and I get that. But actually helping them find resources to where their hobby can be a legitimate business. So that's another thing that we do, is try to help people maximize their money and find ways to make money that they're not thinking of, because you want to be doing something you love. And usually when you're doing something, side hustle, that's what I was when you do something that you feel is a side hustle, that's usually something you love, and you usually can make a lot of money from that. And so we try to explore those things. So we try to look at the person holistically and draw from them and help them see what's already there in them. But the thing about financial literacy is the more you know about something, the better you are at it. And it's a big call, even for in secondary education, to have personal finance, because the more you know about finance, the better you are with it. And so I just want to speak to the people who are not so much in a good financial situation and know that they won't be judged because you're not. That's what we are here for, to help you and help the Washtenaw County community, to students and everything, to get to that place. Like the student loan situation now is different. There's different programs. It's different way to maneuver. So many positions, I can say, that you can work, can get you student loan forgiveness. We would know that and can help you with that. It's income-driven repayments that are rolling out that we can help with that. Before you decide on student loans, if you want to know which student loan would be best, or if you need a parent loan, we can help you look at that. So for repayment later, it's all about planning. You and your family did a lot of financial planning beforehand. And that's what this is about. It's about financial planning. And so if you plan, it's easier to get ahead than if you just jump in and you don't know.
That is why this center is so important. When I think back to my college days, I had some resources. I remember getting an allowance, which helped on, some things. But in terms of budgeting and, if I found something that I wanted, I would purchase it because it was something that I wanted and thought I needed at the time. But just having a center that's available to make wise choices, I think, is a beautiful thing. In empowerment, I love that. I think that is so good for this generation right now to feel empowered and make what they're doing, their passion, a side hustle. I think that's really important because we all have passions, but can we monetize that?
Right.
Yeah, I love that. Can you talk about why financial literacy is so important?
If you think about the suicide rate, and anybody can look this up, after a certain age, majority of the suicide rate is caused by financial problems. If you all sit here and envision with me the most stressful time in your life, and yes, you had a lot of things going on, but think about it. If you were you in a financial hardship during that time? Because financial hardships make everything harder.
Yep.
No matter what, like if your finances is fine, you can go through a lot of things and be be equipped to handle it a lot better. But if you add that financial constraint, even on marriages, a lot of divorces are because of financial differences, financial issues. So finances weigh heavily on your mental health. It weighs heavily on your life trajectory. So if your finances are in order, or you're working on it and you're working with someone and you feel good about it, or you're working on it yourself, because that's what the Financial Empowerment Center is for, is to help to teach people how to advocate for themselves, how to handle their finances themselves. So you're going to have to be a willing partner, because it's just going to be guiding you in what to do on your own.
I was watching an interview the other day with Susie Orman, and she said that, I don't know if she's right or not, but she said that 95% of Americans are financially illiterate. And I think that says a lot about what you're talking about right now. We just don't know. Why don't we know? And when I was in school, I think some of this was taught in the elementary schools and the middle schools. I don't think it's being taught anymore. And it leads to exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
I think our society put the responsibility on the parents to teach the finances. So we learn our finances from our parents. His parents had excellent financial knowledge. So he turned out great with finances. And so my parents, not so much. So I learned the way that I handle things. Like, for instance, a bill collector calls me. What is my response? If I don't have the money, my response was, I'm not answering. I'm going to avoid. Right. Exactly. I'm not going to answer. I'm avoiding it. I also didn't know that they could only call me during certain time periods, or they can only call me a certain amount of times. Like, you don't know that,
Right.
So I didn't know those things. So mine was avoidance. Oh, like it's going to go away because I'm avoiding it.
So what is the right response for students who may have, debt collectors contacting them?
So, well, now is a great time because of what just happened to COVID, everyone's working with everyone.
Okay.
So, and now is a great time. So the thing is, you should answer your phone.
Okay.
And explain to them your situation, because they could have programs that would assist, or at least give you a forbearance instead of you ignoring it and then they start to garnish.
And for students who are from unfamiliar, what's the garnishment for them?
When they your check from work, they take out a certain portion of your check,
And they can do that.
and they can do that. Yes. Yes, they definitely can. So instead of just totally avoiding to talk about it, look, you can talk to them about lowering your payments. Like if you're financially strapped, like you're in a hardship, you can tell them, like, I'm in a hardship. I can only afford to pay this amount.
Okay.
Like negotiate. Okay, well, I can pay this amount, but I need to pay this amount. I need to be over.
Okay.
You can negotiate.
You don't always have to pay the entire debt. You can talk to them and they will work with you and they will try and help you in your situation to get some of the money and then release the rest of it.
Yes.
It sounds like the best thing to do is to talk to these bill collectors
Yes,
rather than to avoid them,
Yes.
right? Because there are some consequences. Can you talk about the consequences, especially with young people who might be getting those phone calls? What are some
And racking up debt.
Right, and racking up debt.
So when you're getting those phone calls, number one, you want to know, is it the person who you actually owe a debt to, or is it the company that they sold your debt to? So it's totally different what your actual debtor, it's totally different what they can do versus what the person who bought the debt. So for instance, the person who you got the debt from, they can call you and just, all the time. But of course, they shouldn't be calling you at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they shouldn't be calling you after 9 o'clock, So
It's parameters.
yes. And so, but if it is the person who bought the debt, then they can't do that. They can't just keep constantly calling you.
So let's say I'm not paying my car loan, right? And so let's say I've got, a Buick car and I bought it from a dealership or a used car lot and I'm not paying. So the car lot is the person who owns the debt, but they can sell it to another company that would then collect it from me?
Usually when you get a loan for a car, it doesn't come from the lot. It comes from Credit One.
The finance company.
Or Capital One, or, a financer.
Okay.
And so that is the person who holds your debt. So that is the person who is coming to you for it. But they can, but after a while, they can say, okay, I'm going to write this off because it's not worth it. And they'll write it off, and then they will sell it to, I'm going to make up a name, to I'm sure going to get your money company. And they can then start to contact you for the debt.
Okay.
Now, because you still owe that debt, you are still expected to pay it, and they can still garnish your wages. So it is still after a certain amount of time. So it is still best that you talk to them. You feel like your back is against the wall. You can't do it. That is a lot of pressure on someone, especially a student, when you have deadlines for assignments, and life. You're in college. That's a lot on you.
So you don't have that kind of stress. Do you have ways in which you save money intentionally, like stores you go to buy, to purchase things more economically, or just little tips to help you save more money? I know you have your money that's going into your savings account, but what tips can you offer other students, you think? Something that helps you that may help someone else?
So I guess I'll backtrack just a hair. When you mentioned taking out loans, I have taken out a personal loan myself, because when you mentioned buying a car, I actually purchased a motorcycle last summer.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah. Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? Okay.
And just knowing that I owed someone thousands of dollars is a scary enough fact by itself. Knowing that I eventually would be able to pay it off gave me some reassurance, but knowing that, wow, I owe someone a lot of money is a really scary thing.
That's a huge responsibility.
Can I ask you a
isn't it?
question? Wait, because I wanted to ask you about that. So you know that you owe a person a lot of money. Did you ever think make your regular payments on time like you're doing? But like, let's say you had this is just a random number, but you had $100 extra that month, right? Did you ever think that you can call them and say, you know what? I mean, you saved your money and everything, and you still have an extra $100 that you could put in your savings, or you can call them and say, hey, I have this $100 that I would like to put on my principal only. Now, when you do that, what happens is the more you do that, the more you're able to pay on your principal only while currently making your monthly payments on time. It's you pay off your loan faster because you cut down the interest, and interest will eat you alive, because what they're doing is when you're paying them, they're paying all of that. So they say you have this 5-year loan. You have it because they're going to pay the interest first, not the principal. So by the time you get to a certain point, you've paid down all of this all of this interest, and now you're paying the principal on the last part of what you actually bought. But if you do principal only payments while currently making your other payments, then you cut down on that loan. You wind up paying less money out for the loan, and in a shorter amount of time.
Yep. Yeah. You want to guess who taught me that one?
Who?
My dad.
That's right. I love your parents. I love your parents.
He got great parents.
Right. So are you paying your loan off a little bit faster for your motorcycle? What are you doing?
Oh, that deal's gone.
Oh, it's gone. So how long was the original term, and how long did you take it? How did it take you to pay it off?
The original term, I believe, was I can't remember, 56 months, I believe. But I paid it off in 13.
13.
That's what I'm talking about.
See, that's really good. It's funny because, that was, probably a new or used vehicle loan, which, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9% interest. I was looking at credit card rates the other day, like 21%. Loan sharks are more forgiving than that. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
And that's the kind of debt that a lot of students are carrying.
Exactly.
But good for you for deciding you didn't want that on you.
Well, what you're saying,
Nice.
I want
Congratulations.
Students to think about it like this. So once you realize, if you have a credit card, right, and once you realize that you're not going to be able to make it, if something happens and you're not able to do it, if you're not going to be able to carry that card, you need to contact your card holder and talk to them about it so that you can probably cancel the card and make a payment arrangement to just pay without it incurring interest. You know, you want to stop them from incurring that interest.
Okay.
And so that's why you want to reach out and talk to them. You know, like you always want to, but again, I also want you to come to the FEC and talk to someone about it, because if you don't know that, again, like I said, creditors, they want to make their money and they're going to tell you what they want to tell you. You need someone like it's that, who can explain this to you.
Yes.
So that you know. So you don't want to just take what your creditors say or your debtors. You don't want to just take what they say at face value. You want to get an expert who can say, okay, you can do this or you can do that. Express this to them. So that's what I want to say. Like, but you want to definitely stop it from incurring interest, because you will go from on $100 to $7,000, and you're like, what the heck just happened? You know, so so make sure that you are talking to them about canceling it, but make sure you're also, when you're canceling it, making arrangements to pay it off.
Yes, you can't leave it idle.
Right. You don't want to. So I'm not saying you're going to not pay the debt.
Right.
No, you're going to stop. You need to stop it from incurring the interest.
That's really good. So what other tips do you have? Drop some more nuggets.
Got some more nuggets. I think another key thing is that you said the word a million times, but I think most students aren't having the conversation of the word credit. What is credit?
Yes.
And
I think
why is it so easy to get?
Exactly.
You know?
And I think, I was just saying that I think a lot of students just really aren't comprehending or seeing the true face value of what credit is. Because a lot of people know they have a debit card, they have $100 on that card. Once that $100 reaches zero, that's it. But the scariest part is, and even for grown adults that I've seen, is that credit card is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, and they don't know that they don't want to spend over 30%. They don't know.
Right.
You don't want it to go over 30% of that card, or else now it done dragged your credit down.
That's right.
And you didn't even know it. So that's why we pull the credit, so that we can sit there with them and talk about it. Like, look, see this, or things that's on their credit that that's dragging their credit down, but it shouldn't even be on there. You know, we can show them how to get it off. You know, like, this is what you need to do to get this off here, because you didn't even know it was on there. You didn't even look, you know.
That's right.
And there could be a mistake. Some of the credit, some of the debt may not even be there.
That's true.
Exactly.
And how often they should be asking for that report so that they can review
Because
it.
they can get a free credit report every year, right?
Yes, but the credit report that we pull, I want to say that's a soft pull.
Okay.
It doesn't affect your credit at all. We have a deal. I mean, we have a agreement with the creditor where we pull softly. It does not affect your credit. They know that what we're doing is trying to get people to see their credit.
Yes.
You know, so it's not just that, like, you could have fraudulent stuff and you didn't know it because you didn't see your credit. So it's all of it, but it's also, we can be able to see smaller things if it's on there, you know, that you can easily get off. But if you don't come in,
You have to,
we
have to come
can't.
in.
But because even though I think your parents, both of your parents, I think that they are wonderful people. I wish that they could teach other parents. Like, could they just write a manual, you know, and just hand it out, like, here, you know.
Right.
Yes.
But a lot of people, like you mentioned, because they don't even know what credit is.
That's right.
And also they don't realize how hard it is when you have no credit to get credit. And so that's why in college, you will notice a lot of credit cards will come to you saying, pre-approved, and you don't even understand it, and you're just, free money. No, that's not free money.
That's right.
They're gonna
Right.
get you. You
At
know?
the time, it might be free
Right, exactly.
for a month.
Exactly, but they're gonna want their money, and they're gonna want it bad.
And that's a great point you're bringing up, because in school, they, like you mentioned earlier, we don't learn those kind of things. The only reason I figured out what a credit score was is because I sat down with my parents and they explained to me everything about what this is. And because he even broke it down simplistically where a child could understand. He said, you want a house someday, right? I said, yeah. And he's like, you want to be able to borrow money someday, right? If you need it, right? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. He's like, so this is a credit card. And this is how you use it. And I think I started it when I was 18 years old. I got a credit card. And he said, you just need to start off small. I think my credit balance was $500. And he said, you just get it for what you need. Gas. That's it.
That's exactly what I
That's
was saying. I'm
all
sorry.
you need. That's all I started with. He's
I
like,
think that's also a perfect segue into resisting temptation. How do we teach young people to resist? Well, even
Even
older,
everyone,
older adults.
yeah.
This is the season of shopping, right? Discounts, clearance sales. How do we go about navigating that life, right? If we want something now, how do we resist temptation?
So that, if we knew how to do that, we would solve the world's problems. But some things that I mean, so for me, I'm just good at that. I don't know how. It's just
say no.
Yes. But so for my kids who are now adults, who are just becoming adults, how I explain it to them is they need to think of it like this. Anytime you purchase something on credit or with your money, when you know you got bills, you need to think of how are you going to replace that money for the things that you need. Do you have something coming that you are going to be able, if you use your credit card, like for instance for Christmas, if you're going shopping, when you get done buying your Christmas gifts, how are you going to pay? Do you already have your plan together for how you're going to pay it back? Don't purchase for me, it's all about planning. How I try to explain it to people and what works when I'm working with people is plan, 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 plan. If you don't have a plan, I don't know who said this, but I heard this a long, long time ago, and it has stuck with me, and it works. If you don't plan, you plan to fail.
Benjamin Franklin.
You know, yeah. Okay. So you have to plan. How are you going to pay this stuff back? If you don't know, don't use the card for it. If you don't spend, if you don't know how you're going to pay it back. And so that is how I explain it to my children, and that's how it works. That's how, if I'm working with people, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And Lamarr, you seem really disciplined. I have a feeling that motorcycle was not an impulsive buy. So how do you resist temptation? How do you discipline yourself?
Well, if I'm being honest, half of it was.
Really?
The half of my mindset since I'm still young was, oh my God, a motorcycle. That's so cool. But then I did have to take the other half of me and be like, okay, can you afford this motorcycle? What do you need to do to make the monthly payments for this motorcycle? Because exactly, my parents explained it the same way, especially once I opened my credit card, is if you don't have the means to pay this off by the end of the month, you should be paid off in full. There was no exception to that rule. If you don't have the means, or if you know you're not going to have the means to pay this off at the end of the month, don't get it.
Don't get it.
Don't get it. And it was as simple as that. And all it took for me was to make one mistake. If I bought too much, I almost maxed out my credit card. And I was like, this is scary. This is scary, especially as the higher you get with the credit card, months after month, they increase your limit because they're almost tempting you. Spend a little bit more.
And and they will increase your limit.
But when you look at it, when you get to almost maxing out your credit card, and that next month comes, when you look at your, if you're paying the minimum, if you look at your credit, it's dropping.
That's right.
Because you don't want to spend over 30% of your credit.
That is right.
And so that's another thing. Like, you're damaging your credit, maxing it out like that. You know, and that's what they don't tell people. Yeah, you have a $5,000 credit limit, but spend that $5,000. You can drop your credit score 100 points, you know. So you want to stay at a happy medium with these things.
Because the lower the credit score, the higher interest rate you're going to pay on the next loan.
But it's not just the highest interest rate. You're not going to qualify. If your credit score is too low, you're not going to qualify for anything. Just like people don't understand that, you know, when you buy your house, your credit takes a huge hit. Like, I mean, you basically got bad credit now, you know.
Until when, though? Because does it level out?
Yeah, it does. So I'm about to say about 6 months. About 6 months, it'll start to rise again. But I'm saying, but people don't know that. So if you buy a house, buy it when, you know, that's what I'm saying about planning. Remember, you don't want to try to buy anything for about 6 months to a year because your credit is going to be super low. So that is what people don't understand. Like, you know, you definitely need to know how to work your credit for you. But do not go over 30%. I want everybody, all college students really, I understand you're going to get the credit cards because it sounds great. And when you're in college, you're young, you know, so I get it, but make sure that you're not spending over 30% at a time.
That's great advice. Any less advice for students, Lamarr? You're doing so well. What can you share with us?
Sure, thank you. Just from a student's perspective, for what you just said with that whole 30%, I think what most students don't recognize or understand is that you could be building your credit up for months and even for years, but all it takes is one mistake for you to drop that credit, and it'll take a whole another year or 2 years just to rebuild right from you started. One mistake I've made was when I first had my credit card and I almost maxed it out. I did have the means to pay it off, but I was thinking, I don't need to pay it off right now. I can maybe get something else. I'll save some money. I don't need to pay it off right now. So I paid. There was the minimum balance, but I paid just a little bit over it. So I was like, I want to keep some money in my pocket. Nobody got to know. The following month, they would say, I thought it was green because it said, okay, you paid over the minimum balance. I'm like, I'm good. But then my credit score, and I feel like I'm old, but I check my credit score once a month.
Wow,
I check my credit score once a
that's
month.
Good.
And I'm currently blessed to say I'm at 730 right now.
Good. Yeah, that is great. That is excellent.
Thank
That
you.
is excellent. But you're right. I mean, you never know if something is on that credit report that you weren't aware of. So if your credit score dips, you want to know why. And if it dips, you want to know so that you can do whatever you need to repair it.
That's
so
right.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's
and
really
it
good advice.
dropped about 30 points that the following months for me not paying the full balance like I usually do every month. 30 points.
That's a
It's-
lot.
Yeah, it is a huge amount. It took about, I think, 4 or 5 months just to repair those 30 points because you only go up about 2 or 3 points, if that, a month.
Yeah.
So
Lesson learned.
yeah. Never do it again.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Lamarr. Veronica, where can they find you?
Okay, so the Financial Empowerment Center, we have 3 co-locations. One of our co-locations is here at EMU. Student advising, that's where it's at.
Okay.
So you go in there, we have an office there, and they are there Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 5. Our scheduler is online. You just click on the link and you pick an appointment. That's available.
And we'll put all that on the screen.
Yes,
We'll put
yeah.
all that on the screen so everyone will have it. So that's great.
We also have co-location is Jewish Family Services on State Street. And then it's also Faith in Action. And Faith in Action is in Dexter. So we wanted to have a location throughout Washtenaw so anyone can get to it.
So campus, Ann Arbor, and Dexter.
Yes. You could also have an appointment at the at Washtenaw County's Office of Community and Economic Development, which is 415 East Michigan Avenue.
There it is.
That's the one I know because my office is there. So
Are the services outside of EMU free for residents?
for even students, it's convenient for this whole the FEC is totally free. So the county and cities for financial empowerment are they have put funds into a grant for us together, and they fund it. This is a totally free service. It is totally free. No one pays anything for this. This is strictly to empower the residents of Washtenaw County to thrive, to grow, to not just residents though. I keep saying residents because I'm used to saying that, but that's not it. It's if you work in Washtenaw County, if you go to school in Washtenaw County, this service is free. We do not charge at all.
I love that. And there's something for everyone. If their credit is horrible, if they have a low financial literacy, or someone like you who has high financial literacy, your finances are in good shape, but they could just elevate you to that next level. So there's something for everyone.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Veronica and Lamarr, for joining us. I know I've learned a lot, and we encourage everyone to visit the center soon. Thank you. Wow, Melissa, that was a great show. I always learn so much when we do these. Finally, as we enter this holiday season, we know that it is not a happy or joyous time for some of you. For many reasons, tensions can run high, as does anxiety and depression. If you feel you're experiencing psychological distress, please write this number down and call or text 988. That's 988. You will immediately be connected to the mental health professionals at the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, and we pray that you will get the help that you need and that you will feel better soon.
Lolita, such important information for our viewers and listeners. Well, that's all we have for today. We wish you joy, peace, and blessings for the new year. And please join us again around the 15th of January as we launch another important episode of Enlighten U.
Everybody ready?